Hello, and welcome back to the third video in this series, all about Cryptant Crab Prime. In this video, we'll be talking about the absolute most important part of the game, the battling, because that is essentially the entire point of the game. Everything you're trying to do is to get better in the arena and earn better prizes. Each crab hatched has their own heart that strengthens the natural stats that they have, such as HP, DPS, block, elemental multipliers, and resistance. These stats work together with growth points, elements, and fossils to help crabs in battle as they train and grow with experience. Every small aspect of a crab's growth can tip the scales in their favor. However, a crucial point in these battles is the clash of elements. Each crab has an element dependent on their body, while other parts provide additional stats and resistances. On that note, let's talk about the elemental classes. There are 5 elemental classes. I'm not going to read every bit about each one of them, so you can pause it if you like and want to catch up on it. Also, just so you know, all of this information I'm showing right here is found in the intro tab right here. You drag it down, and there's a variety of knowledge, but a lot of people don't like to read all through it, so yeah. So the basic elements are fire, earth, metal, spirit, and water. Every single crab has one of these elements. The element that the crab is based on the body type, so it does not matter which element the claws are or the legs. So the benefits that elements give are shown in this chart. Essentially, water crabs are strong against fire, spirit is also slightly strong against fire, etc., etc. Now let's jump to the actual arena. So here we have the actual arena, and there is a lot to take in on this page, but we'll go over most of it one by one. So the basis of the game is you build a crab team, you empower the crabs however you want with fossils and their own stats and such, and then you send them out to fight. Now sending them out to fight is very simple. You just hit this fight button, and it is dependent on how much energy each crab has. And we'll get into that in a minute. Now from this page, it reminds you about the elemental weaknesses, and they're called primary prey and secondary prey. And this is the specific bonus primary prey gives. Now when you hit the fight button, and it brings up this screen, it automatically has it open to the maximum amount of battles you can send out. Each one of these will be a different battle against potentially different teams. You can choose to spend Cryptant here to increase your team's DPS boost. Now, it's not a flat increase. It can be anywhere between 0.1% and 15% bonus. And I suggest only using this if you really want your crabs to do well. For now, I'm going to not choose that, and I'm going to send my team out to battle 6 times. Now that I've sent them out to battle, they start regenerating their energy. And it takes 4 hours to regenerate 1 energy, up to a maximum of 6 energy, which adds up to 24 hours. So you should come back every single day around the same time to completely send out all your crabs once again. Now if you scroll down here, it'll show you all your battles that have either already been fought or waiting to be fought. So you can click the show more and you can see a ton of them. Not all, but a lot. If you do empower the team with extra DPS bonus, they have this little icon right here, and if you click it, it shows the bonus that it got. Each crab got a separate bonus, so that is something for you to keep in mind. You can click this button to see which team your crab actually fought and how well they did against each crab. It tells you if your crab won or lost, and by how much, against this specific crab. And it tells you how many points you made. Over here, it tells you how many wins your crab had, the points it made for those wins, the experience it gained, and how many crab tokens you earned. If you do a DPS boost, for every point earned, your crab will gain that many crab tokens, and they go into a sort of bank. While I'm thinking about it, let me show you that bank right now. The bank is up here. It's called the Crab Farm. You need a minimum of 5,000 crab tokens in here to be able to harvest. And once you have that, you can harvest. It'll pop up with a MetaMask transaction, and you complete that to get the crab tokens. As far as I know, there's no reason to harvest every single time you get 5,000 crab, which is why I'm leaving them in there for a while, so I don't have to do as many transactions. So the point to battling is to earn as many points as possible. Let me click show less. Oh, they've already completed. All right, let me jump into that real quick. You can reveal them by clicking them one at a time, or you can click reveal all. So now that you've revealed all, let's look at one. Well, let's look at one where I lost one. There we go. All right, so in this battle, my coral crab here lost one. It still got 9 wins and 4 XP. The XP you get is based on how many wins the crab gets. I believe if you win 5 or less battles, you only gain 1 XP. If you win 6 or more battles, you gain 2 XP. However, since I have a primordial on this team, all the XP is doubled. So looking real quick at the loss. This is kind of funny because this is one of my friends that beat me. I talk to him almost daily. However, it shows that his primordial beat my coral crab by 10 seconds. It'll show you the crab, and you can click on it to look at it. Here is his primordial. It'll tell you who owns it, all the stats you need to know, and we'll look at some of my primordials. And it'll tell you the bonuses and fossils he's using. So going back to this page, you can see I won every other battle, and then my primordial beat his by 15 seconds. Okay, so we can exit out of there. Now let's jump back on track with what the prizes you can earn are. So if you scroll down here, you have the previous arena and the current arena. It also tells you how long is left in the current arena. Each arena runs for 5 days. So every 5 days, the stats start over, the crit combos and the elemental bonuses are changed, and yeah. So your score here is determined by your top 50 battles. So in 5 days, they'll take those scores, add them together, and that becomes your overall score. Currently, I am first in the leaderboard, and I'm not going to lie, this does not happen to me often. I'm usually in somewhere between 3rd to 5th place. The prizes you can earn are here on the right. Now, I'm not going to lie, the inability to earn an actual crab is kind of lackluster. Well, there is one way to earn crabs. There are the lucky prizes. Anyone who did not make top 5 is eligible for the lucky prizes and the ghost crab. And these are literally just a drawing of random prize winners. So lucky 1, 2 people will get a knowledge cell. Lucky 2, 3 people will get 1 crab egg. So in the entire arena, only 3 people every 5 days are going to get a crab for free. Oh, apparently there is another stipulation to qualify. You must send out non-mercenary crabs in the arena at least 20 times. Moving on. A ghost fossil is a special fossil that gives a 25% bonus to a regular stat. So it is the same as a normal fossil, but instead of 5 or 10% bonus, it gives 25%. I'll get much more into fossils later in another video. The other things you can earn are these special, and they give you a bit of crab tokens. And then below that, it shows how many crabs of what element battled. And let's go back all the way to the top. All right, speaking of the elemental boost. So every arena, there is a different elemental boost, and there's only one. So you can't have water and fire be boosted. And in a future video, I'll tell you how the element is chosen, or at least I'll try to. It's slightly confusing. Anyway, but every fire crab that you send out, every point that it makes will earn you 1.5 points. Now, there are stipulations. Beating a fire crab with any crab will earn you 1.8 times the points you would have earned. And yes, they do stack. So scrolling down, let's look at a fire crab. Let's see. Where's the fire team I have? Here we go. Okay. So let's look at the winning points for my primordial here. Ah, good. There's one. So my primordial beat all these other crabs and earned 1.5 points for each. However, it beat this fire crab and it earned 2.7 points because those point multipliers stack. And talking about stacking multipliers, let's talk about the crit combo. These crit combos change every single arena, and I have noticed there are no primordials on them, which is a good thing. I actually was pushing for them to take legendary crabs out of the crit combos as well, but they have all ignored my thoughts on the matter. So that's fine. It's their game, and it's not a terrible thing to have the legendaries. But anyway, what a crit combo does is, just like the boosted element, it gives you bonus winning points. So both crabs on this team will earn 1.8 times the points that they would normally earn. And yes, these do stack with beating the boosted element crab, and if a crab that is a boosted element is part of the crit combo, that also stacks. So, a normal crab team will look like this one right down here in the bottom left. A crab team with a primordial on it will look like this brown gradient one right here, and it will show the EXP times 2 at the bottom. A crit combo crab team will look like this purple gradient one right here, and that's about it. Now, when you want to build a team, the way to do it is you click on this edit tool up here on the top right. It'll bring up what the team looks like, and then you click on the crab, and you can scroll your inventory. It takes a while to load, so if you know what crab you want to put on there, it is good to use the search tool. So let's say I want to put Inferno. You search for Inferno, and it gives you all the crabs with Inferno parts. So if I wanted to put this one on there, I can select that one. Let's change this one to, oh, I don't know, Obsidian. All these, put that on there. And then you can change the fossils from here, but these are the fossils that are on those specific crabs. So like, let me change the Inferno to a crab that does not have fossils. Let's go moss. And let's choose this crab. So no fossils. You see how it changed? Now I'm not going to save this because I don't want to mess up that team. But, oh, yeah, you can also name the team. First. And then if I save it, it'll save that, but I'm not going to save it. Return. So back here, and I believe I stated primordials give you 9 extra slots per primordial. But this first page is what you will start with when you first start the game, which is plenty of team space for a new player, unless you go ham and, spend a lot of money just building up your crab collection. Which I can't blame you. That's kind of what I did after a few weeks of playing the original one. Let me see, what else? Oh yes, let's talk about the stats that crabs get and what increases the stats and such. Now I'm just going to give you a simple rundown because in another video I'll go over more detailed. But your crab stats are based on this specific body part. This is a bad example. Let me go to a non-primordial. Okay, so let's look at this crab right here. There's no legendary parts, no nothing like that. So each crab, the body, and each part give base stats. So this Grievous body will always give you 3096 health. They also always give you 102 attack and 2.6 block. Now that is not unique. Every single Grievous body will give you those exact stats. Same thing with the Grudge legs. All Grudge legs give you both these stats. Exactly those numbers, no variation. So all bodies and their parts give you a set number of stats. Now the exception is with legendary parts. So while a druid body will always give you this much health, this much DPS, and this much block, the extra 10% bonus that a legendary body or body part gives you is randomized. So there are druid bodies that give 10% DPS, there's some that give 10% block, etc., etc. Same goes for each body part. Now again, I'll get much more into all of that in the future. But the ways to make your crab stronger for battle are increasing its XP, which you can do over time in the arena, or using your knowledge cells and greater knowledge cells. You can also increase its XP by mutating, xenografting, and megagrowthing. I forget the base amount that each one of these gives. Let's see if it says it. No, it doesn't say how much XP each one gained. Let's see if this stat says. No. Maybe xenografting doesn't give that, and I'm just confused. Let's see what mutating says. Nope. Okay, so I forget how much XP each one of those gain, but yeah. Ooh, this crab was born in 2019. Oh my god. It's 5 years old. Anyway, so moving on. The other way to increase your crab's efficiency in the arena is increasing its resistances. Each body part a crab has gives you 10% resistance to that element. So if this crab specifically had 2 fire claws and a set of water legs, it would have 20% resistance to fire and 10% resistance to water. However, if you full build a crab and all the body parts match the body, it then gains 30% resistance to all elements. So that is one big bonus to full building a crab. Now the other main way you can boost your crab's efficiency in the arena is with fossils. Now to give you a quick rundown on fossils, you select the fossil down here and you can choose which stat you want to boost, if you have the fossil of course. Now I will absolutely make an entire video describing fossils and the ins and outs and intricacies of each one of them, but you pick the stat you want to boost and you can either equip it, well right now it says swap because I have one already equipped, or you can bind it. Now binding it costs crab tokens, but it gives you a secondary bonus stat. And for example, let's look at the one I have bound to this. You can click over here to look at the details. When you bind it, it gives you 2 options, and that is unique to this crab. If you move it to another crab and bind it, you might get different stats. But the one I chose for this one is decrease the DPS of enemy crabs by 16%. So every crab this crab specifically fights, they lose 16% DPS. The other option I could have chosen was increase HP by 28% if the partner crab is primordial, which wouldn't have been a bad option since I am pairing this with a primordial crab, but I think the DPS one's just slightly better. Okay, so enough about fossils for now. Alright, let's go back to the arena. Okay, so one big thing a lot of people mention is how there is no actual visual for the arena battles. As you saw, I put out these 6 battles, and then they just finished on their own. I'm not sure if adding any visuals would actually be beneficial to the game or just be more interesting. Because as is, the way the battles are determined are with a math equation. Let me see if I can find that math equation real quick. This is telling you about the battles and such. There it is. Okay. So the battle calculation is this slightly intimidating, but not too difficult to understand math problem. And down here it shows you the key to all of them. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. If you'd like to look at it and study it, you can pause here. Or bring up the Cryptant Crab game and look it up yourself. And if I scroll down, it gives you the winning points and the boosts. And right here, the winning point multipliers can stack with each other, so yeah. And then it gives you examples of all that. So the maximum boost you can gain is 4.86 times your points. Okay, so I believe... Oh, wait, no, there is a few more things. The tournament, as far as I know, is just coming soon. The first tournament they did was just like the arena, although it cost crab tokens, not these specific crab tokens, a different type, in order to enter each battle. So, yeah. I believe... Let's see what this is. Alright, I believe that is all for now on the arena. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to send all my crabs out to battle. And I hope to see you in the arena. And have a good night and enjoy.